Okay, so we'll get to the real video in a second, but before we do, we noticed some container gardening going on in a local storefront. And I thought this was a great idea because it gets a lot of light, and the storefront really wasn't being used, but Tiffany, what was wrong with this?
The issue is they are planting their seeds in cans, which are metal, obviously. And the issue with planting inside of metal containers is that when they're getting a lot of sun like that, the sun actually heats up the container and that heats up the soil, and it actually can cook the roots and kill the plants.
Okay, so nice idea. It may or may not work out for them. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's check out what's going on in our little container gardening today. Okay, so here's our lettuce, which we have not transplanted yet, sadly, and I think it's starting to feel the effects of that. Our zucchinis and our squashes are definitely also feeling the effects of not being transplanted. Our green peppers seem to be doing okay. I mean, they kind of look like a mess right now just because they're so small. Our basil is doing quite well. We have a couple other unidentified things. We think this is now a bit of tomato that's starting to grow in here, and not too sure what these little guys are. Over here we have transplanted some tomato, and it seems to be doing okay. We're doing about 3 or 4 to a pot. How many inches across are these pots, Tiffany?
Those are 1-gallon pots. Only one of those plants is going to be the final plant in there, though. We just transplanted 3 in case
they don't make it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, moving on outside, here's a lot of transplanting that we did today. These guys, these tomatoes? Yeah?
Yeah.
These guys are tomatoes. And then here we have peppers. We think they're green peppers, don't we?
I don't know what they are.
They're peppers. Here are the rest of them that we haven't transplanted, the tomatoes and the peppers. Over here we have a couple of cucumbers that we, Tiffany doesn't think that they're going to live. They were in the little, they were all sort of in a container together, so we've separated them out just because we didn't have enough pots. Here are the cucumbers that we have transplanted for real, that we sort of got in milk jugs, which is sort of Tiffany's idea. I think it was a pretty good idea. So we're saving up our milk jugs now. These are the pumpkins that, again, I continue to express so much doubt about. And then behind us, here's really the coolest thing that we did this week. We had our green beans in these containers that we'd done last week, but this week we sort of reversed the tomato cages around them, so now the tomato cages, here are the little pointy things that would normally be in the ground, and they're actually sitting on a base here of the bottom rung of the tomato cage. So I know that's kind of hard to see, but that's what's going on here. The reason we did this, they're sitting on a ring right here of the tomato cage. The reason we did this is because our friend Mario said that it's normally not a very good idea, according to somebody that he talked to put the metal tomato cage ends in the actual pots with the plants. So now we've sort of got it the reverse way of how it normally would be, but I think we're thinking this is going to be pretty cool as far as if the beans actually do vine up. Is that right, Tiffany? She's shrugging and saying, I don't know. Well, I think it's cool anyway. So that's our situation. The plants aren't really spending much time outdoors at the moment, but now that we've got them in bigger pots, they may need to start because we don't have a huge amount of room that gets light. So that's what's going on. It's is it week 6? It's either week 5 or week 6. We'll put the week in the title of the movie. So that's it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.